Hi there, Jim Orbineth, just back from the Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio, where I had a great time. I did my four presentations for the Origins War College and Armchair Dragoons, of which I'm proud to be a member. I got to meet some very interesting, very nice people, many of them for the first time. And I'm very happy to say that attendance was really good at my presentations, upwards of 12 to 15 people, which is a lot better than the 1 to 5 I had last year. So I would call the Origins War College a total success, at least from my perspective. Now, what did I do there besides that? And meet people and eat, and had a very good steak at the steakhouse next to the hotel, Jeff Ruby's. Excellent filet mignon. I highly recommend it. I also spent money on games, not just on filet mignon and Negronis. So, what did I buy? I really didn't buy a whole lot of traditional war games this time around. The first one I bought was from the Dietz Foundation and Jim Dietz, Littoral Commander, the Baltic. I saw this set up on one of the tables at the Armchair Dragoons site, which was basically Wargame headquarters in the playing hall. And what happens? You see it, you like it, you buy it. So I went over, bought a copy, started looking it over, looked online, talked to people. I found out that there was an earlier game called Indo-Pacific using the same system. And I immediately got buyer's remorse. So I went back to the Dietz booth, and instead of trading it in and getting Indo-Pacific, I bought Indo-Pacific right out. Kind of like Winston Churchill, his first Sea Lord, who said that the Royal Navy wanted 4 new battleships. The Exchequer would pay for 2, so they compromised and bought 6. That's my approach to life, at least buying war games. So I've got both games of the system. I'm happy about that, because who's better than me? Spend money on myself. And why do I work? It's to put a roof over the head, put food in the dog's bowl, bring games into the house, and play them. What's wrong with that? They were my main Hex Encounter purchases. Another one that I bought because last year I saw it on one of the tables with Armchair Dragoons is Votes for Women by Tori Brown. And I talked to her too, and I was very impressed by her approach. I was impressed by the components of the game, and I said, take my money now. Couldn't. The stock was still sitting in a container in the Pacific on its way from China. So I was out of luck. This year, though, Enterprise Games was carrying it along with, as usual, their exclusive dealership for GMT. So I went over and I bought 2. Again, a Churchill compromise. Why did I buy 2? One's for me, one is for my girlfriend who loves women's history, is interested in gaming, and I am sure she will get some enjoyment out of it. So, she's happy. She has a new game. I have a new game. And I do intend to cover this in Line of Departure print edition because I am always looking for opportunities to expand the scope of the magazine. And just as the late Chuck Schuldiner, the band creative force behind Death, used to say, he used to say metal is metal. Don't categorize things. Don't get so deep into all the little pigeonholes. I'm that way with gaming. I really believe that we can all learn from various types of gaming. Some are more interesting than others, but gaming is gaming. Metal is metal. For example, I started reading stuff on social media about Littoral Commander. A guy bought it, said, this isn't a game, this is an educational tool. I said, well, I'm an educator. This could be really, really cool from that perspective. Even if it's not a game as we're used to, this is pushing gaming into another line of work. Fine. At the same time, he could be wrong. It could be a very good game. I don't know, but my mind is open. Hence, I bought both games in the Littoral Combat system. So I'm going to be looking at both actually for education. I'm going to start teaching American history too at the University of Arizona Global Campus in early July. The class starts on July 1st. So I'm going to keep an eye open, maybe not this time around because I don't know the game yet. It's still in shrink wrap. But maybe down the road, something I can recommend to students. I see no opportunity to use a game in the virtual classroom because students are overloaded with work. These are accelerated classes. Arizona Global Campus, their classes typically last 5 weeks and have 2 papers. So I don't want to burden them with something that is going to be, well, a burden. Don't want to do that. But still, it's something that they can see history in action. Perhaps they'll be interested. Perhaps they'll be interested in games. I don't know. But I could just show it to them at no cost to them. Because that is something that's very important to me. I hate professors assign books that they wrote just with the idea that they can get enhanced royalties. And I've seen it happen, and I don't want to be that guy. I've always tried to keep textbook expenses down to nothing when I was in the brick and mortar side, I hated that. I hated books that cost hundreds of dollars that you'd use for one semester. So to keep that in mind, I'm recommending free stuff, including my channel. There'll be other videos, by the way, that are applicable to the classroom. So keep an eye open for that. I like free stuff, and I prefer to give it away than make people pay for something. Now, another role-playing game that I bought this time is RuneQuest. I was from Chaosium. I've been interested in this for a very long time, going back to the Avalon Hill days. I had heard very, very good things about their version of RuneQuest. And I'm not a role player. I haven't played role-playing games in 46 years. Years ago, I was in a group for about one night playing Dungeons and Dragons. I had a cleric who had his feet nailed to the floor, so he got knocked down, he popped right up. Knocked down, pop right up. Kind of like a Weeble Wobble or something. And I haven't played since. But I've been interested in them. I was interested in SPI's Dragon Quest. I pre-ordered it. Not with the idea of playing, but of learning from it. Because as a designer, I think that we can all learn from each other's types of games. And role-playing, with its combat, its magic systems, its world building, could be very instructive, especially if I branch out, gaming is gaming, to designing science fiction and fantasy hex and counter games. And I've already learned a lot from watching miniatures and playing 1 or 2 games, especially Napoleonics, on how to make things simpler and more accessible with limited information available to the players. I mean, usually you have a lot more information on a counter than you do on a miniature stand. So I'm open to learning from everything. And I wish that more players and designers would break out of the wargaming apartheid, or just the gaming apartheid, look at other eras, look at other types of gaming, look at other scales and subjects, and perhaps learn something. So I'm buying role-playing products. But even bigger is this massive set of tomes, Traveller 5. This goes back many years to GDW. another company that's unfortunately no longer with us. I blew $100 on this. I'll probably never play it, but I'll learn from it. This has 3 volumes in it, all of which could teach a brick and mortar, a hex and counter design or something. You have a core book on characters in combat. And remember, when you have combat, it doesn't matter if it's in a role-playing system or on a map or miniatures. Miniatures combat is still combat. And maybe you'll learn something from the designer. There's second, a book on starships. Again, this is something that might be applicable to hex and counter science fiction games. So, one more opportunity to learn. The third one is books and adventures. Now, the adventures may not be so applicable to a traditional paper war game, but the world's part, the settings, could actually inspire later science fiction and fantasy games, should I decide to go that route. So far, I have designed nothing but operational level traditional counter and hex war games. 3 of them are purely historical. The 4th, Britain Stands Alone, is contrafactual but based on actual history. What if the Germans had won the Battle of Britain and invaded southern England? So that is the closest I've come so far to a non-historical war game. And I still consider it historical, but you never know. And I'm keeping all my options open for design projects should I ever develop enough time. But Origins is a place to learn about new systems, new settings, new types of games, and look beyond the hex and counter historical world that I've been in really since 1972 with few breaks. And this makes my time in Columbus, I think, very worthwhile for me at least. Plus, there's the fun of meeting new people, meeting people I've known online for years, meeting them in person, face to face for the first time, and getting reacquainted with old friends and older games. And I'm very happy to say, too, that the Armchair Dragoon site, which was the Wargame headquarters and the Players Hall, is expanded this year, and I hope it expands again next year. I think our involvement was very successful, and I really hope that GAMA, who run the convention, the Game Manufacturers Association, I hope they recognize that wargaming is coming back. Our little area is getting bigger. It's not yet. It used to be that Origins was totally wargaming. Now it's everything else with wargaming. I don't want to say in a corner, but if it is, it's a corner that's growing. And I met people too at the presentations I did who were longtime historical board gamers, and were proud of it. So I think we're coming back slowly but surely, that you're going to see more and more historical war game playing at Origins, and hopefully more vendors too. In the meantime, I'm going to keep on going, hopefully, and see how things go with new types of gaming, different people, different genres, and try to learn something from it. My own view is, as I get older than dirt at this point, that you stop growing when you lose your curiosity. And in some ways, I'm just as curious as I was when I was 17, and I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time. So this is just part of the year now for me, and I really hope to have the opportunity to go back next year and do more historical presentations, maybe something on game design, which I've done in the past. And what I did this year, I'm hoping to redo for my YouTube channel. So nothing goes to waste. Except maybe my money. But hey, it's my money. And at least I'm not spending it all on booze and hookers. So, thank you very much for watching. And I'll be coming back, hopefully in a fairly short time, to add more videos, preferably for your enjoyment and not just your tedium and boredom. So, thank you for showing up. Thank you if you liked and subscribed. Thank you double for that. And I shall be seeing you again before long. Thank you.